a speech and drama education company working with children and young adults. So first of all, could I ask Steve to come over? Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you. Very short. I'm going to read a poem by George Surtees, whose collection Reel, R-E-E-L, won the T.S. Eliot Prize in 2004, and he's since been shortlisted twice for that same prize. And in 2015, George won the Booker Prize for translation. So this is the order of release by George Surtees. When gates finally opened, there was rejoicing. It was like a birth. The miraculous wore its finest dress and sang in a pure, high voice. And there were the dreams stowed away in the wardrobe. Now they were brought out like long-lost washing.
Alice Oswald studied classics at Oxford and then trained as a gardener. Her first book of poems was The Thing in the capstone style, and that won the Forward Prize, and later on she was awarded the T.S. Eliot Prize for a very long poem, Dark, which was a river dark on Devon. In 2009 she won the Challenger Prize for her contribution to poetry, and from 2019 to 2023 she was a professor of poetry at Oxford. No, thank you. The Trial of the Soul by Physics. Tired. I am tired of the rules. I am so tired of the same old limitless justice of the light and the trial of the soul by physics. Who can I shout at if I shout? It is the same strict softness as the leaves that breezily distends and snuffs it out. How come the dew, by means of evaporation and certain seeds, by means of tiny hairs and fans, get away on a wisp of air? What's missing? What should have been thought of here is a 1,000-foot folded sheet of gold, stepped and tapering into space, like a tilted beam of God. Or at least a ladder, leaning into these rain-worn trees with 2 steel rails, and its feet refracted in the river, so that slowly the soul, with trailing water sleeves and silted shoes, would get out, and then another, and another. The way mosquitoes stand around in groups on the water, fixing their broken struts, and all suddenly, crookedly ascend.
I wrote this years ago, after I'd been first introduced to Ilhan by my sister. Summa. There is warm weather today. He writes from prison, says he does not know Wordsworth, but that moving from reading to writing is his necessity if the spirit is to stay alive. How does spirit stay alive when the flowers grow beyond the bars and in the mountain villages snowdrops gather in clusters, free and unashamed. He does not think he deserves the title poet, nor a teller of tales, a chronicler. It's more important to be human, open, loose to evil nothingness. He is a swimmer who has to swim because he is in the sea, because each wave threatens, because wild currents will move him too quickly from the land. Swimming is what one does. A moving body is rhythm, hands, arms and legs unite. Bright breath dreams its way, eyes set on safe blue hills. He writes daily from prison. Like the bravest of swimmers, he'll reach the fabled shore of love. But when? Even as long seasons drift on, teach the discipline of things and surprise. Thank you.
This is a poem by Jane Lynn. Jane Lynn is the author of Day of Clean Brightness. She's a poet and a software engineer for an environmental consulting company. Jane was born and raised on Long Island, New York, and lives in northern New Mexico, where she taught creative writing for many years at UNM Los Alamos. The poem is called 2 Points Determine the Line. In the silence between wakefulness and sleep, I form these words of friendship. Ink into pixels, into ink. In the silence, the wall has something to say by its own silence, and the earth that rises and dips through ocean, continent to continent. A feeling that travels through any medium. Earthquake, tsunami, the flutter of leaves fastened still to the bough, persevering into a fullness of fiery reds tipped gold. In the silence of the high desert, dark shapes cluster in the reach of pines, nestled in the fold of a mountain road, rising from a narrow in the canyon floor. Heavy rustle of wings, a dark shape in flux. Once, in the silence of dawn, I saw outspread wings collecting the warmth of sunlight, grazing the treetops. A single bird. In the silence, the surprise of snow, deer under the uplift of an old maple. They step, curious like words, startling into the air in quick leaps. 4, 10 bodies bounding in the night, small and large, the rush, the rustle. Life does not lie, you write.
This poem is by Leanne Quinn, who is an Irish poet. She holds a PhD in American literature from Trinity College Dublin, and her first collection of poetry, Before You, was published in 2012, and her second collection, Some Lives, was published in 2020. And she lives in Vienna Austria, which is why I'm here reading her poem. This is Dream of the Tree by Leanne Quinn. The dream of the tree looks the same at the beginning as it will at the end. Insects burrow the dark, dream in the soil. The dream reaches the roots of the tree that is not burning. The tree is not dreaming in the way the insects dream, or the other animals that are dreaming in the forest. Shelter is not the same as hiding. Fire, not the same as burning. The tree's dream can often be disturbed by an axe or a knife carving a human name. The tree notes the knife as it notes the insect bite at the edge of a leaf. But the tree cannot be expelled from its dream the way people are. The dream of the tree is a dream of any season, of any forest, of any flame.
I'd now like briefly to introduce my lovely friend Lester. Lester Gomez Medina was born in Nicaragua and is also a Costa Rican national. He came to the United Kingdom in 2014. His first poetry collection, The Riddle of the Cashmere, was published by Exile Writers Inc. And I'm incredibly grateful to him for reading for us tonight.
Good evening. This is my second time here in this room. I was once with Exile Writers, and it's an honor to be here reading for a good reason, through poetry. I'm going to read a poem that was written by Ibrahim Altay, right? Altay, who is a Cypriot poet and translator whose poems and translations have been published in various literary magazines. His first book, Ibrahim's Altay's first book is Ways of Living, that was published in 2024. I just want to add something before I read. So I myself, I am a poet as well. Before the poem, I have been thinking about the reason I was invited to come and read here. And I just didn't want to come and read. I wanted to bring my heart with this as well, because this is not my poem, but I feel I made it mine. And I'm going to share it with you. This is Ibrahim Altay's poem, and it's called Let Us Go to You. Soles of your feet burn with longing to walk. Time falls to hope, hopelessness. Birds wait with a song of spring to weep in sky, watching the dancing darkness and the heat-shy sun. Come, resist, that walls be brought down from foundations. Come, let us open up to the fullest as we touch yellows of the poppy, greens of longing. Let us go, passing farthest reaches of villages as we listen to the murmured calling of the rivers. May a hand reach to hold that which is broken as the heart moves through a tunnel of impossibility. And let a sparrow from your palm fly your words to freedom. Ibrahim Altar. Thank you for listening.
Great way to end the first half. Thank you all very much so far. Now I have to apologise, we had intended to pack you all happily off to the coffee bar, and somebody has decided to book it this evening for a private event. If anybody is parched, I can make them a cup of tea in the kitchen, and we have water here, there's plenty more glasses, but please come and see me if you need a glass of water or a cup of tea, and I will sort it out. And we'll get back together at 7:45. Thank you very much.
Thank you.